In the Louisiana ACLU and the NAACP are joining the Greene family today. And joining us this morning via Zoom is Miss Alana Odom. She's the executive director of the Louisiana ACLU. Good morning to you.
Good morning. It's great to be with you.
It's great to have you with us this morning. For people who may not have been following the Ronald Greene case as closely as we have for the past 2 years, they may be hearing about it now for the first time, all thanks to that video that was fully released last week by state police, but really only after some really intrepid and some dog-eat journalism. What have we learned from that video that was released and over the past couple of days, and what are you guys demanding today?
So what we learned is that Ronald Greene was beaten and tortured by members of the Louisiana State Police, in particular Troop F. We know the names of several troopers involved in this brutal beating and taking of life. Dakota DeMoss. We know Detective Clary, who was the supervisor, and we also know that there were additional officers on the scene who also either stood by and watched or participated. And what we know is that Ronald Greene had run a stop sign, potentially, and that when the officers encountered him, they tased him, they beat him, they brutally struck him and required him to continue laying on his belly in a prone position, despite him trying to turn himself over after he was already subdued, after he was already shackled at his hands and at his feet. We also know that there was an officer, Corey York, who drug Mr. Greene by his ankle shackles. This is torture, this is brutalization. And what we know is that these officers reported in their police report and in internal investigations that Mr. Greene died in a car accident. And they also denied having body cam footage, in particular the supervisor, Detective Clary, who came on scene, held his body cam footage back for 2 years. And we know that over a year ago, the governor of the state of Louisiana, as well as certain specific elected officials, saw this video and showed some pieces of the video to the family. And we also know that there was nothing that happened in the interim. We were told that there was an investigation taking place, potentially that state charges would be brought, that there was potentially a federal investigation happening, but the family saw and heard nothing of either. And so what we're asking for today, in light of the Associated Press releasing this footage about a week ago, it was the Associated Press who leaked the footage at first, not the government, not the Louisiana State Police. What we're asking for is we're asking for these officers to be held accountable. The family is asking for their immediate arrest and charges to be brought, both at the state level and also at the federal level. And we're also asking for a federal oversight and investigation of the Louisiana State Police.
And that rally will be happening later on this afternoon. So who all will be joining you, and just what are your hopes for this afternoon for that rally as well as the march?
Yes, so rally today on the Capitol steps at 3 o'clock. I was really honored to be able to pick up Miss Mona Hardin and her daughters, Alana and Danelle, and Ronald Greene's daughter, Taylor Greene, from the airport yesterday. Spent the entire day with them, got them down to Baton Rouge. They are going to be, of course, the highlights of this march and rally. We are centering their concerns, their needs, and their demands. And I'll recite those demands again so that the public is very clear. This is not a march just for the sake of marching. We're not protesting just for the sake of protesting. We want the officers to be held accountable. The family is asking for the officers to be held accountable, for charges to be brought against these officers, for them to be terminated from their employment. The family is also asking for state charges to be brought, commensurate with what these officers did to Ronald Greene, also for a federal investigation, and for the Office of Civil Rights to open a pattern and practices investigation into the Louisiana State Police, not limited to Troop F, to the entire state police, because we do not think Troop F is the only troop that is committing these kinds of offenses. We think this is a top to bottom situation that everyone has to be evaluated. And so we're really excited about asking for those things and marching on the Capitol today.
Miss Alana Odoms with the Louisiana ACLU. That rally again with the family of Ronald Greene happening today on the steps of Louisiana State Capitol at 3 p.m., marching to the governor's mansion. We, of course, will have complete coverage for you at 5, 6, and 10, as well as on our website, brproud.com. Miss Odoms, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you.